Hi guys, Linda here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making this Vietnamese curry dish that I grew up eating a lot of as a child. This curry powder, you can basically get it from any Asian supermarket. The ingredients include garlic, turmeric, onion, and pepper powder. Instead of using chicken or any sort of meat protein, I'm going to be using this firm tofu right here. The brand is from House Foods. I recently went plant-based about almost 5 months ago. I am very much in love with the vegan lifestyle, and I definitely want to eventually be able to consider myself a full, well-rounded vegan. But for now, I have excluded a lot of animal-based products out of my cooking. My husband and daughter are not vegetarians or vegans in any way, but I definitely am exposing them more to the vegetarian, vegan, plant-based cuisine. Hopefully one day they might go down that route with me as well. Okay, let's get started. So first off, I'm going to try to get as much of the water out of the tofu block as possible. So I just have here a clean towel. And what you want to do is you just get the tofu on, towel, wrap it up, and kind of I just let it sit aside for a little bit like that. So this curry powder mix actually has the recipe in the back, and it's really simple. I already have some garlic minced up right here. I have a ginger block that I'm going to cut up, and I also have a small onion right here. So we don't need a lot of ginger. I'm just going to cut off a small chunk like this, get it all diced up. Okay, this might be a little bit more ginger than what I really needed, but it's okay because I'll just save it for another recipe. All right, next up is the onion. So I just cut off the ends, cut it right down the middle, center it again, and then from here I'm just going to start dicing this up as well. I love using onions, garlic, and ginger to flavor my cooking. It doesn't matter if it's a stir fry, a soup base. I will always basically use those three components to flavor my food. So by now, the tofu should be ready, and I'm basically just going to cut it up into cubes. There you have it. So I'm starting off with this really big pan right here, and I'm just going to heat it up at medium-high heat. That way I can get the tofu on and searing while I get everything else prepped. Okay, so now that my pan is all ready and hot, I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit of coconut oil spray in it. Okay, here are my cubed tofu pieces. I'm just gonna go ahead and get them all dropped in. And you wanna make sure your pan is hot. That way the ingredients that you're adding into the oil doesn't soak in a lot of the oil. And the trick to cooking and browning tofu is you don't wanna mess around with it. So you basically just want to put it into the pan, let it cook on each side for, I don't know, 3 to 4 minutes before tossing them up. Now that we have the tofu frying, I'm going to get a medium-sized soup pot and get the curry powder cooking with the onions, garlic, and ginger that we already have chopped up. So I'm going to use a pot that's about this size here. And then from here, I'm just going to go ahead and add in the onions, half of the ginger that I had cut up, and about a teaspoon of the minced garlic. just stir that well. Once the onion, garlic, and ginger have cooked down a little bit, like they've started sweating, I'm going to go ahead and add in the powder now. Now that I have the curry powder cooking in the pot, I'm going to go ahead and add in some water. And I'm going to go ahead and maybe just put in enough water to fill up maybe a third of this pot. Because the recipe also calls for 2 cups of coconut milk. So I'm going to go ahead and get that added in a little bit. But for now, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and put enough water to fill up a third of this pot right here. Okay, you just want to let that come to a boil. Okay, so the tofu have been browning for a little bit on one side. I'm just going to go ahead and flip them over now. See, as long as you just kind of leave them alone for a few minutes, they'll brown up very nicely like this. Oh, I almost forgot the nutritional yeast. So just to make sure that I'm not deficient in any of my vitamins and minerals, as a plant-based vegetarian, aspiring vegan, I always use nutritional yeast just to make sure I'm getting my B vitamins in. So I always like to just pour a ton in. And I'm just going to go ahead and get that mixed up. I'm just going to lower the heat a little bit here. Okay, so my curry broth has come to a boil. From here, I'm going to go ahead and add in my frozen vegetables. I'm probably putting in a cup of vegetables. I know I should measure, but oh well. Okay, so from here I'm just going to add in a little bit of salt, probably half a teaspoon of salt, some black pepper. And at this point the recipe calls for some coconut milk. It calls for about 2 cups of coconut milk. And the one I'm using is this one right here. It's the Aroy D brand, and it's the full fat coconut. These you always want to shake up pretty well because the fat content and the liquid content will separate while it's in the can. I actually had some coconut milk in the fridge from a recipe that I was trying out the other day, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the last bit of this first before opening up that can. So this measuring cup is a full 1 cup. Okay, so here's the second cup. So at this point, this is what the curry mixture is looking like after I had poured in the coconut milk. I think I need a little bit more frozen veggies, so I'm just going to go ahead and just add in a little bit more of that as well. Oops, okay, that kind of spilled everywhere, but yeah, you get the point. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and let that come up to a boil now. Can't forget about my tofu cubes. They are browning up so nicely. While that is coming to a boil, I'm going to go ahead and get the sweet potatoes ready. These are not organic, so what I'm going to do is peel the skin off. Okay, so it looks like the curry has come to a boil. I'm just going to go ahead and add in the sweet potatoes now. This is what it looks like with the sweet potato cubes stirred in. So normally I like to eat the Vietnamese curry with French bread. So this morning I went to my local Asian supermarket and got these loaves right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and get them toasted up But just in case if Hank, my husband, doesn't want French bread, I am going to also cook up 2 cups of long grain brown rice. So I just have a little bit left over right here from another recipe I was cooking the other day. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this cooked up for him. All right, and then while the oven's heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and get the bread sliced up here. I just want to taste the broth just to make sure that it's seasoned to my liking. I'm just going to add in a little bit of soy sauce. I'm going to go ahead and add in a little bit of lemon as well, lemon juice. That's probably maybe 1 tablespoon full. And from here, I'm just going to go ahead and add in the chopped green onion. The recipe also calls for a little bit of sugar, so I'm just going to add in the smallest amount possible. And this is it, my vegan Vietnamese curry with some fried tofu cubes on the side. I'm not going to add that in right now because I want to basically just top off the soup with it so that the cubes will stay as crunchy for as long as possible. So yeah, here is my curry dish. I'm super excited to eat it. I'm gonna go ahead and get it plated right now. So the bread is done and out of the oven. I'm gonna go ahead and plate up everything right now. And the bowl that I'm using for this, because you guys know I love to take pictures of my food as well as food in general, will be this one right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a nice white bowl like this. I'm gonna go ahead and have it be sitting on top of a plate like that. That way I can have the French bread slices just kind of fanned out on the side right here. I'm already salivating as I'm scooping this bowl for myself. It looks that good. I'm going to additionally top it with some crushed red pepper flakes. I think it just makes everything look a little bit prettier as well. Some of that cilantro. I got so excited I almost forgot about my tofu cubes. So there's that. And here it is, my Vietnamese curry dish, soup, recipe is all done. All done and ready to be devoured. Thanks again guys for tuning in, and I will talk to you later. Bye.